back again. Om. In some video I was watching, or some, I think it was actually a video of a like a, it was some common, it was like a Coptic church. I'm not sure what, but at one point the rabbi said, "Let there be light." And, you know, what was the commandment of God on high? Let there be light, you know, and there was light. I think it's important for us to kind of continually re-invoke, because it's a prayer now, isn't it? Let there be light. And then I read this, oh my God, now I'm blanking on the man's name. James Baldwin. I discovered him sort of by chance in high school, and just a book called Giovanni's Room, which is just amazing. But he said, "The longer I live, the more deeply I learn that love, whether we call it friendship or family or romance, is the work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light. Let there be light." Inshallah. So, and here, you know, it's darker, it's getting darker and darker too. The outer world. And I read a fascinating, this is just like, you know, frigging around online looking at interesting things. The business of the pumpkin was possibly predated by, in the old world, in Ireland, they carved turnips and potatoes and, you know, into little, in these days, these kind of, where the veil thins and between light and dark, you carry your little turnip lantern. I mean, there's something so tender about that in a way, because with its scary face, to like check the demons that might be out there looking for you. Your little light in the dark, your little turnip, fierce little turnip face. And the article went on to say most people couldn't afford an actual lantern, a tin lantern, so they would take these, you know, just carve out a potato. There were a lot of them about. And it becomes the thing to guide them through the dark and to keep the scary stuff at bay with its own little scary face. There's something very poignant to me about that. Let there be light, you know, and then you carve, you make the eyes the light for the lantern, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, man. This is in a place of sadness and emotional darkness, if you will, the period of mourning. You know, when it feels like, Cup's energy, it feels like the lights have gone out. You're just in a place of loss. You know, and this character's standing on one side of the river. 3 spilled cups, 2 cups still upright, but not done yet feeling the grief. 5s indicate a need for change. So this isn't a permanent posture, but it may take as long as it takes. As long as it takes. And the 2 cups, that possibility for connection is right behind you. When you've cried it out, when you've acknowledged the loss, then you can move on. 5, change it. Change it up. Change it up. Ba-dum-be-dum-be-dum-be-dum. I mean, where do you affect real change? In earth energy. I mean, let's put it this way. A whole lot of stuff can go on in the realm of feelings and in the realm of the psyche. But this is the boots on the ground energy of moving forward. Not fast, but authentically. You know, not denying the sadness, but somehow incorporating it. Then it doesn't hurt anymore, and you're able to, get back on the road. I think something tangible will come into you that'll mark the time. Pentacles speak to time for the end of the grieving period. Something like that. Yesterday, returning to the party. Nine of Pentacles could be an invitation. We're getting a bunch of repeats here. The card of, I'd say, correcting an imbalance. This card always troubles me because it's a sort of fat cat in the red hat saying, okay, you needy person on my right, I give you this many coins. You can see he's not dropping a whole treasure trove into this character's hands. And here's this other person in desperate need. And it's sort of like, wait your turn. I often have a hard time with 6 of Pentacles. Something may have been happening just in tiny increments. Tiny increments over time. Like it took a long time for these scales to begin to be in balance. But it's as if now there's enough. Someone can come forward at last. At long last. Tell us about what's the sadness? What's the 5 of Cups? What's the emotional landscape that needs to change? Six of Cups. 5 to the 6. On the right track. You may have lost what you considered to be your soulmate. How long do we grieve that? As long as it takes. But I'm also hearing, and no longer, maybe a moment longer, but turn around. Turn around, be there to receive what's coming in at long last. And perhaps when this person turns around, bang, oh, there's the one. Bang on. Turn around. There they are. Bang-o. You know, it's that equal exchange. Things maybe in 3D have not been fair. You know, somebody may have been getting the short end of the stick or feeling like I don't know, I just don't like the guy in the red hat. I can't help it. But this is a correction of that, I believe. Because here we have a card of emotional balance, of exchanging cups. You know, underneath Archangel somebody, and this card of healing, you know, the physician's thing that has the two, there's a word for that. Love is a healer, says Neil Young. And I love you. This is the offer. And you know, Page of Pentacles can usually indicate something small, a small offer. I just think it's an offer given in the hope that it will make up for any imbalance that may have gone on for a long time. Years, in fact. So there's something, but it's like the tipping point. It's like, on that scale, there's something about that. This is the tipping point. This is the, you know, when this is added, this element, whatever it is, suddenly the thing calibrates. There's enough real stuff so that nobody needs to get a piecemeal. Nobody needs to get breadcrumbed. There's more on the way. This is a productive, it's a game-changing offer. It may seem small, but it will set it right. Because I think it's backed up. This earth energy offer, this small thing is backed up by more. What does that mean? Backed up by more. Tell us more. Show us more. Yeah, cards feel funny. Okay, first up. Oh my goodness gracious me, look at you. Look at you. Queen of Pentacles. More is coming. you know? Darling, you might be dealing with a Virgo, you might be a Virgo. But this is somebody who knows who they are. They've looked into their, you know, their inner core, their inner room, without any distractions, nothing between them and themselves. I think you've seen yourself. Okay? Seen ourselves. I think this is a game changer. Again, that thing about, I mean, we got this yesterday all over the place too. It's the balance, it's the balancing. It's some kind of decision, perhaps, that tips the scales. Somebody decides to offer this small thing. It's been a big decision. It's been a long time coming. Tons of consideration, tons of weighing up the value. I mean, Pentacles can speak to value as in money. I don't get the feeling of that, not one bit here. I think this is the value of among other things, you know your own value. You've looked into the heart of yourself, which takes a lot of courage. And there's some takeaway from that, you know, something that looks small that makes the big difference. So there's been a decision by the decision-making air sign, King of Swords. Could be an Aquarius, doesn't have to be. He's identified, well, let's see. Yeah, I was going to say he's identified you as the source. Sorry, I was in a bit of a trance there for a second. This is the card of judgment. This is the World card. Second to last and last card in the Major Arcana. This is a full cycle in the psyche. A psyche cycle. Oh my God. You know, the call back to life. The second chance. And whatever this call back to life is, it works. It kind of pulls you through the portal. Through the opening, through the cervix. It's really, and it might be an actual death and rebirth, but we're all experiencing those kind of portal moments all the time. This is a big one. Somebody has identified you with great clarity. They're not in doubt now. I had a friend, a very dear friend of mine, who once said to me, I thought you were God. And I said, I'll say, yay, hello, glad to meet you, because you're God too. I don't know much, but I know that. Namaste, I see you, I recognize you, I recognize the God in you. Wow. I just need to take a sip. I know that's sort of like, I need to absorb that for a minute. Let there be light, truly. The work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light. Each other's light. Remember the thing about the potatoes that we carve into the scary face to go into the dark? We can't afford the lantern. The lantern is in fact in your hand, and I think it's illuminating the fact that you know and they know, like you're on the same page now. We're both, by virtue of this connection, what we feel for each other is of such a magnitude like we die and are reborn. It's you. I recognize you. I recognize you. It's almost like, waking up from some kind of deep sleep. Hermits speak to time, like Father Time. Waking up, enlightened from this deep sleep. I recognize you now. I see who you are. I see it, identify it, and I'm connected to it. I love you. I see you. I know who you are. I love you. That's a if I'm just here to deliver that message to somebody from somebody, let there be light. Mirror each other's light. Amplify each other's light. No, you guys, for some reason I don't want to hang up. I used to do that with friends. Sometimes if I, at times, and it's been done to me too. When I was feeling very insecure, I would say to the person I was talking to on the phone, I can't hang up. You need to hang up. I just don't want to be the one who And it's a little cray-cray, but there are people who understood and just would say, okay, bye, you know. Um, till next time. I love you guys.